Hello, my name is Pooja. Welcome to a new episode of Around the World. You might be familiar with this common fact of history that almost all the countries of the Asia and Africa were colonies of the European countries. These countries got independence after long struggles, which were primarily led by the local people. Although today erstwhile colonies exist as sovereign states, but map of these countries has changed. Before the colonization by European nations, the political map of these areas were different, whereas today it is different. Because of this change in the map, some areas are still disputed. This situation becomes more interesting when such an area is occupied by Britain and a sovereign state, which was once a colony of Britain, asserts its right over the territory occupied by Britain. Probably you can guess which country we are talking about. We are talking about Chagos Archipelago, located in the Indian Ocean. It is still occupied by Britain, but Mauritius, once a colony of France and Britain, asserts its rights over the archipelago. You might be wondering, why are we discussing Chagos Archipelago right now? What is the significance from the point of view of international relations, and what does it mean for India? So let us tell you that Maldivian President Ibrahim Solih sent a letter to the Prime Minister of Mauritius, Pravind Jugnauth, supporting Mauritius' claims on the Chagos Archipelago. This makes the region important not only for Mauritius but for Mauritius-Maldives relations as well as for India. Significantly, the Chagos Archipelago, with more than 60 islands and 7 atolls, is to the south of India and Maldives. Chagos, located in the Indian Ocean, is about 500 kilometers from Maldives. On the other hand, it is at a distance of about 2,155 kilometers to the northeast of Mauritius. In this regard, the support of the Mauritius claim on the Chagos by the Maldives is very important in terms of the relationship between the two countries. Actually, Mauritius was once a French colony, and the Chagos group of islands were administered under the Mauritius-French Administration. However, at the end of the Napoleonic Wars, France ceded control of Mauritius and associated territories to Britain by the Treaty of Paris of 1814. Since then, it has been under British control. In 1965, under the Mauritius Independence Plan, the Chagos was separated from Mauritius and formed as BIOT, that is, British Indian Ocean Territory. Mauritius later gained independence from the United Kingdom in 1968, but the UK kept Chagos group of islands with themselves. And since then, Mauritius has claimed the Chagos Archipelago as its territory. In this regard, let us understand the view of Maldives regarding the archipelago. Significantly, the Chagos Islands are the closest to Maldives in geographical terms, yet the Maldives never had a clear stand on the Chagos Island dispute. Opinion of Maldives has been changing alternately depending upon its own priorities and claims of the respective countries. That is sometimes in favor of Britain and sometimes in favor of the Mauritius. But because of overlapping maritime area, the primary objective of the Maldives has always been to protect its maritime interests. Actually, Maldives and Chagos Islands are connected to each other under Exclusive Economic Zone, that is EEZ. In fact, due to its proximity to the Chagos Archipelago, this area is very important for the economic development of Maldives. The Chagos Island became even more important to Maldives for fisheries and other related products. Due to these reasons, the recent decision of the President of the Maldives on Chagos has been criticized domestically. The opponents of the decision argue that it has disregarded the national interest of Maldives and respected the wishes of external powers. On the other hand, despite all the criticisms at the domestic level, this decision of Maldivian President Ibrahim Solih is also being described as a masterstroke, as it will strengthen the Maldivian-Mauritius relationship. It will increase the international pressure on the United Kingdom to free the Chagos Islands. However, in this regard, the United Nations General Assembly has already passed a resolution to end Britain's jurisdiction over the Chagos Islands. In fact, in May 2019, a resolution was passed in the United Nations General Assembly with 116 votes against 6 votes, under which Britain was asked to leave the Chagos Islands within 6 months and return it back to Mauritius. But till now, Chagos has not been officially transferred to Mauritius. Although Britain has not transferred the Chagos Islands to Mauritius yet, but in the near future, this territory will belong to Mauritius. In this regard, let us now understand what it means for India. It is noteworthy that, like the Mauritius and the Maldives, India has also been a colony of the British and has also suffered the tragedy of colonial culture. India is a vocal opponent of both colonialism and imperialism. Therefore, it is natural that India has taken the side of the Mauritius regarding the Chagos Islands. Apart from this, the most important thing is India's direct interest related to Mauritius and Maldives as well as the Indian Ocean. In fact, Mauritius is an important FDI, foreign direct investor, in India as well as a major economic partner. Also, India has strong ethnic, cultural and commercial ties with Mauritius. Apart from this, India wants to build a naval base in the Mauritius region so that China's expansion in the Indian Ocean can be countered. This is because China is not only increasing its clout in the Indian Ocean region but also opposing India's efforts to build a new naval base in Assumption Island of the Seychelles. Now that Mauritius has good relations with India, it would be in India's interest to support Mauritius on the Chagos Islands. On the other hand, Maldives is strategically important as well as a close maritime neighbor of India. As far as the current situation is concerned, India is in a good position to influence the political decisions of Maldives as the Solih administration endorses India-first foreign policy. In this regard, it can be said the Chagos Island dispute will help India along with Mauritius and Maldives in establishing its influence in the Indian Ocean region. Let us now note down the question based on today's story. Discuss the Chagos Islands dispute from the perspective of Mauritius-Maldives relations.